Hello, all the snake. Hello, all the bug. Mm-hmm. 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 Trung Trung,
Hello.
how are you? What time is it in Vietnam? Ooh, Tina, Bina.
Hi. I think it's about 9 o'clock morning.
Yeah,
Hello.
yeah, I'm here now. See, you see, Selena, baby. Hello.
Hi.
You messed
Yeah,
me up with the recording.
yeah, that recording was necessary because it was good conversation.
Yeah, but I didn't know that was last week. I thought it was now. I said, what? What's going on? Something feels trippy. But it was totally different than the last time. I couldn't
Mhm.
hold it. Too strong.
Hello, Marjorie. How are you? You miss me, yeah. hmm Ever since you've been exposed to me, I'm going to tell you a story now about voodoo and how voodoo created all the major religion. Okay, I'm going to tell you a amazing story, and I'm just going to be like, if you don't mind, if you would share this, if you go to my YouTube, you should see I'm live streaming. Share it on your Facebook, and I want this story to spread. Okay, and I want to tie everything together. How the black race is the original man, and how they spread globally, and they come from. Here you go. This is not good. Uh, let us focus attention now. And Trung, please mute yourself. I think you're over there in Vietnam. Yeah, Dad will go to Tuesday. I gotta go work the Hyatt Hotel. I gotta look good, cause that day is the owner. I'm a chakram hunter. Yeah, I'm gonna cut me. I'm gonna do a live show right now. Okay, okay, you ready? Hear the amazing story. Um, why the black people is the original of our religion throughout this planet, and what is the purpose of all the different religion? Okay, the end game. The entire end game of all religion is to know thyself, is to know yourself. And once you know yourself, you become immortal. Does that make sense? You become a rainbow body. And the original knowledge came from the first people. The first people are the one that land here first on this planet. Not create, but land. It was the black race. The origin, the founding father of Earth colony. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Let's snug. Okay. So you have to understand your origin. Human being was not from Earth. Human being was invited by this planet. Because human being a very, very spiritual being. Very psychic, in other words. If you're thinking about telepathic, no, human being is not telepathic. Human being is instinctive. Does that make sense? Another word for instinctive is intuitive. And the language of intuitive is the language of you already have it. You already know. It's without sound, but there is a sound. Without words, but there is a word. Just so now going back to the subject before I digress here. 30, 50, a million, 2 million years ago, this planet is colonized by people from Syria. And the people in Syria are blue, dark people like Africa. Does that make sense now? So when you see the people, okay, that is black, they're really not black. They're actually dark blue because of the radiation. And that's what caused to appear to be black. Human blood is actually blue. All human, doesn't matter what ancestor we have, are actually blue. But the reason you see red, when your blood hemoglobin touch oxygen, it turns red immediately. Does that make sense? Okay, I need to find out what kind of sound is coming out. Is this noise out here? Dr. Jose, mute yourself. I want to see if it's coming from you.
It's better.
Yes, that's better. Yeah. So it's Dr. Jose. Okay. So the Syrian people, which is the blue, but now it's the black people, was the founding father or mother of the colony on this planet. And also on Mars, and also on Venus. So that's the reason that the black race, what we call black now, but back then we called them blue or the purple people. You know, that makes sense. The people from Syria B. And so because the Syria B sun is very, very blue, it's very dark blue, and so that's why the people become that color to adapt to their environment. This sun is yellow white. It used to be yellow, but now it's white because it's a higher dimensional sun now. So the people that came here was very big, very tall, giant. That is our ancestor. And that's why an African, the name of African before it was not African, it was late Draconian. It is the land of the reptilian. And when human colonized it, we give it another name. You know, there was, we called the land of Egypt, or land of Ethiopia. You know, this entire continent was called the land of Egypt, the land of Ethiopia. So, and then they merged with the Atlantean. So this founding knowledge, founding father was global. The black or the blue race was global, and was also on the moon, was also on Venus, was also on Mars. So do you see where I'm going? But how did this came to be? This color? Well, what happened when you mix what currently the black race used to be a blue race because the environmental changes, and with people from Palladium, which is always Caucasian, like the Chinese Palladium, you know, Palladium and Brahmin. And then you have the Palladian white, you know, which is European people and stuff like that. But once they start mixed with the blue race, you become brown, you know, like that automatically. Now you begin to see every underlining aspect. My mission is to help you remember that you have a long history. Your ancestor is actually you. When your ancestor left this plane of existence, they incarnate as you. Does that make sense? Yeah. So when you actually think about your ancestor, you're thinking about your former self from previous incarnation, and so forth and so forth. Do you know why I tell people, see, don't ever get wrong. I know everything about Christianity. I know everything about Islam. I know everything about Buddha. I know everything about Hinduism. They all came from Voodooism. And you see the people of Buddha, notice they have wrinkled hair. The statue of Buddha is dark and have wrinkled hair like a spiral. It's telling you, right? And they sit in a, like that. It's showing you, if you draw the line, connect the dot, it forms a pyramid, a tetrahedron. It's telling you this is the knowledge of the Most High. It is the knowledge of geometry. It is the knowledge of fractal. It is the knowledge of continuation. It all came from the black being. In Cambodian, when we say a beautiful woman, is actually in that age, it's someone who is black, someone who is, very dark, is most powerful, is recognized as the powerful being, and is most recognized as beautiful. Does that make sense? So beauty are defined from age to age. In modern time, we think a white woman with all this, all that is beautiful. That is in our time. That's in our ages. But back then, it was the black. It was the black. The beauty person was a black. And I added on. It was a fat, okay? It was a fat black woman was known as to be the most beautiful. Because at night it's cold, so you have a big woman wrap herself all around you and say, yeah, it's warm, you see? So do you understand now that beauty changes from ages to ages, whatever the perception of that ages is? And even wrong and right changes from age to age. In other words, in Asian culture, if you touch someone's head, it's considered to be very offensive. But if an older person touch your head that is white, then it's considered to be a blessing. But in America, in Asia, children does not eat first, but the elder eat first. Then everyone else, the one that is older, eat until, and then the children eat last. Does that make sense? That's in Asia. But in here, America, children always eat first. Then the elder eat last. So you see, wrong and right is opposite. So if this culture applied to Asia, it's become very offensive immediately. And vice versa. That's why wrong and right does not exist. And you begin to see that all this knowledge, when you go to Asia, you see the same culture where we don't look at older in the eye because that seems to be challenging. And we regulate the social style in Africa and in Asia the same. You go by someone's older than you. And they the one that's in the authority. They're the one that's in responsibility mode. So that's how, because they see the sun first. So that's how they measure things over there. And that's why Asian and African, I'm not talking about black people in America, I'm talking about Africa. Black of the black, that can get along. Because we share the same understanding or knowing from the same root. Because African culture is a global. And the knowledge of voodoo, the superior religion on this planet, in the entire universe, is voodooism. See? Voodoo. Because in the Bible, people in the upstairs does not want you to know voodoo because that become competition to what they know. Does that make sense? Competition. Because as long as you do not know the truth which is put in front of you, as long as you don't connect the dot to see the pattern, they own you. They always be the glorified one. And you're the one that give them energy, which is you become their battery. Like a rock star. And that's the reason, and the truth caller, they became afraid of me. Because I'm doing miracle. I'm doing stuff which their God say they can do too. But they don't know how, but I know how. And then they can't handle, how do I know it? Because I was blessed by the voodoo people. The people of our ancestor. The people from the land of Egypt. The African, a whole African continent called Egypt. Until some general from Greek named Africanus took over and then they changed it to Africanus. That's how it was. Does that make sense now? Before it was called the land of Egypt or the land of Ethiopia. The whole continent was as the land of Egypt or the land of Ethiopia, they call. Yeah. So if you want to know about black history, you talk to me. Cambodian has the original, the unchanged story of the black culture, the black race, the black giant race. Because we are all of us are their descendant. And they pass on the voodoo knowledge. Notice the voodoo is the same as in Mexico. Voodoo is the same as in America. Voodoo is the same in Europe, in Cambodia, in China. They all know voodoo. And everyone afraid of voodoo. But voodoo is the one that create our religion. What in voodoo? Voodoo you have chant and music, right? What in church? You have chants and music. And then when the voodoo, they want to bless you, because they already know, because everything about truth. They just say a certain prayer, boom. In church, what they do, they say it's prayer. But when they want to curse, like in church, they want to, I cast out your demon, this and that, they're cursing. Does that make sense? So in voodoo, when you want to do something, because what you want? Well, you want there to bring healing, to bring balance, to bring recognition, truth. And that's why they're afraid of voodoo, because voodoo is simple and it's true. And every out of voodoo, you always have a priest or priestess. In church, you have a priest. In the Buddhist temple, you have a priest. You notice that? A priest. Or a priestess. The same. It doesn't matter what religion you go to. Its origin, its structure, God, it was taught by voodooism. And voodooism can be weaponized. And what is the purpose of voodoo? To teach you about, to be in harmony with nature. And that's the same thing that's taught in where Taoism, that's taught in Buddhism. That's the same thing that's taught in every religion, to know thyself. Does that make sense? When you know thyself, you know you're a part of the greater creation, which is everything. Then you can help yourself. Now, notice how the white people, they're very good in theology. But they're not good in actual practicality. And I'm so profound that people in America have a Bible, right? And why do you spend your lifetime going to read the Bible? It's just a book this much. You can go through it. You already know what I want to say. Okay, I sum it up. In the Bible, they taught this little simple passage. Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Lead not with your own understanding. In all your way, acknowledge him, and he will make your path straight. Now, that's the entire Bible talking about that. The same. For example, when they asked Jesus, how do you walk on water? Jesus say, have faith. What is faith? Faith is trust. Trust something that you know it will happen, but you don't know how it happened, but it will happen somehow. Does that make sense? It will happen. Trust and faith is one and the same. Faith is something you can't see. Trust is something you can't see physically, but you know it will happen. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So, and then they asked, Jesus said, well, how do you pray? Pray. Jesus said, you ask. Ask and you shall receive, that your joy may be full. And then a Christian might go and ask people, oh, this is what their tactic. They think we Buddhists are stupid. We are superior than them. We are superior to race because we have superior knowledge. Because we are linked to the land of Egypt, you know? So this. They would ask, oh, when you die, where are you going to go? Why answer you Christian idiot? If you hold your Bible, you don't even read it. Your Bible said that when you die, your body return back to the earth. And your spirit return back to where? God. It didn't say go to hell. It said return back to God. Because how was human was made? When the divine creator breathed his spirit into you, and then you became who you are. That means the spirit of God is in everyone already. On all things. Does that make sense now? The kingdom is always in you.
Yes.
And then they thinking like, oh, everyone born of sin. I say, you idiot Christian. Don't even you read your own Bible? What the sin is forgetting who you are. That's why you feel you're dead, because you don't remember that you are made of God. That you have the spirit of God. Boy, you know, they don't want to go against a super Buddha like me, because we know everything. Because their problem is they don't read and they don't practice. They're just theology. But we different. When we read the Bible, we already understand what the Bible is saying. It's actually a practical book. Does that make sense? It teaches you to know yourself even more, so you can help yourself. That's why the Bible says, know thyself. And God help those who help themselves. So you want God to help you, you do two things. You ask God for help, then you go and help yourself, then God will accommodate you. The thing that you can't do, He will bless what you already chosen to do and make more abundant of it. Does that make sense now? But what is God? God is nothing more than your higher intelligence, the cosmic intelligence, the universe intelligence, the higher self, which is the all that is. The all is the one is the all law number 3. So, and the final purpose, once you know yourself, what happened? You become a rainbow body. You become a light body. In Christianity, what do they call this light body? This incorruptible body. The body don't die. It don't age. It does not grow old. You call it the new creation. Does that make sense now? See? You see? All these people that claim to know the Bible, know God, they know shit. They don't understand the end game. The end game is, 1, know thyself. 2nd, help yours. God help those who help themselves. And once you understand this, then you obtain the rainbow body. You realize you always have the new creation inside you. But you got to remember it by doing positive deed. You know people that remember who they are by their action. But who are we? We are spirit. Because the body returned back to earth, but the spirit returned back to God. But there's another thing, that the body can be transformed in a twinkling of an eye into an incorruptible body. That means a rainbow body. It's already been done in Tibet. No Christian ever done it except for the character Jesus. But beside that, everyone that the Buddhists can do it if they practice. That's why we train with manifesting food and water in the palm of the hand. That you can actually see some kind of haze and experience it. Because everything is connected to the nervous system, the emotion, the mind, the body. Does that make sense? And that's why the radio, the truth caller were afraid of me. Because I bring out the truth and they're afraid of the truth. And therefore I don't want to talk to them. Because I don't talk to people who lie. Does that make sense? Who cannot handle the simple truth. The truth is simple. Simple and practical. And I was doing the stuff on the show. And then they're very jealous of my power. You know why they're jealous of my power? Because how can someone who is Buddhist have this power and they're a Christian? Because that's why they go wrong. That's why they go wrong. They think us and their mentality is wrong because the truth is one-fold. We are the same being. We are the product of all that is. We are the product of what you call God. So there is no one better than nobody. We are all equal. What I have is what you have. Jesus said the same thing. You too can do greater things than I can. And then they try to, but Jesus, shut the hell up. If they don't know, they need to humble and shut up. Let those who know, like me, who know I know practically how to do it, let me talk. Because they ain't the true teacher. The true teacher will show you how to do it and will duplicate it from people to people to people to people to fulfill the commandment. The commandment and the Buddha said the same thing. Let all being be enlightenment. And Jesus said, who is he? He is the light and the way and the truth toward who is the Father. The Father is the higher being. You know, the one that, the source of all things, which is energy. Does that make sense? Which is all that is. Which is, we call God is all that is. It's the energy. So, and that's where when you have argument, they can't argue with me. Now we're going to show proof. That's why we do superpower. Superpower is the sign of proof. That show you are in line with the universe, with the will of the divine. So that's why they couldn't handle me, because they were made of light. And that guy, what the fuck his name is? Do you remember Smarty? You see what Smarty? He just making money from everyone. But when I exposed him, he really didn't like that. I don't like what he's doing, because he's selling bullshit to people, and I'm not going to stand by. I was sabotage. I make sure his shit is what it is, shit, you know? Because he stole shit from Thunder. He did see that. He tricked Thunder. He tricked and tried to glorify himself. He's a fucking thief and criminal. Simple as that. And I hate him. Because by his action, I hate people that do that kind of stuff, knowing wrong and right, but yet they choose to do ill thing that costs, that does not allow people to see the truth about them. Does that make sense? The truth is, you all know everything already. All of you know everything already, but you just forgot that you know consciously. So our goal is to help you to know yourself consciously so you can realize there is no savior. You save yourself by remember that you are of the divine universe, the divine consciousness, that you are from the all that is. And that's why they make this illusion, because they can't make money from truth. They can only make money from lies. Does that make sense? And the lie is the confusion and the fear. And the truth is, there is no such thing as confusion or fear. Those are just distraction, illusion, what the Buddha called. And once you remember there is no distraction, confusion, or fear, you can never be confused anymore. You realize you were always in heaven. Heaven is in you. Heaven always been in you. Heaven is you, because the Spirit of God is heaven, and the Spirit of God breathed himself into every creation. And that's why we have life right now. Does that make sense now? Ain't that cool? Mm-hmm. So don't let someone confuse you. You already was one with God before you even born. You just forgot doing incarnation. That's why teacher was sent to help you know who you are again. That you are an eternal spirit, eternal divine spirit from the divine itself. An aspect of the divine spirit has been breathing into you. Now your body became animated because of that. That's why I teach you how to breathe to the bowl and make it become alive. I told you how to breathe to any object and make it become alive. Does that make sense? We're using the same technical process. Mm-hmm. Do you see how why people jealous? They can't believe an Asian man able to know all this. Well, this Asian man is not it's not a complicated man or sophisticated man, but he's a simple man, you know. And he loved truth. And the truth is what? The truth is by deed. It's never by word. Word is only broadcasting, but by deed. Deed means when we say going to manifest water, we will manifest water. And the reason they can't do it because they lack trust. What you call it, lack faith. When you trust something, you don't see it, but your emotion, your intuition see it, so you know it will happen. Does that make sense? Now you enter the language of intuition or instinct. That's where the device communicate. It's the language of instinct. Ain't that beautiful?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I'm pretty much against a lot of people. I'm going to bring them all down. And you know how I'm going to bring them down? I'm not going to expose them, because they going to bring themselves down by leaving them alone. They bring themselves down. Because what is true remain true. What is bullshit will remain bullshit. No matter how much you're trying to sugarcoat. Because all bullshit is just confusion. That's all it is, misdirection, distraction. The truth is always straightforward. Yes mean yes, no mean no. There is no middle ground in the truth, because the truth is simple. And once you realize that, that's when miracles happen. When you said, remember we say, let this water turn into wine? It was a simple truth. We let it turn into wine. So therefore it became wine with alcohol. When we drink it, we start feeling the effect. Because how does that work? Because everything, again, it affects first your emotion. The information affects your emotion. But your emotion is tied to the what? The central nervous system that grow like tree root throughout your body from the spine area. And then once your emotion receive it, it's sending the information to your nervous system. And guess what? Your bloodstream now receive it. Your physical body. And now that's your mind receive it too now. Because your body receive it and your body receive it because of the nervous system. And the reason it works because your emotion is connected to your nervous system. Ain't that beautiful?
Yes.
And a lot of people say, oh, it's got to be placebo. I tell you what, that placebo will cause you to... let's say, look at the people who drink this stuff. Look at their face. And ask them what they're experiencing. They're turning red. The same thing when you drink the physical alcohol, you turn red. You have burning sensation. Sweating. The same effect. Well, because there's no such thing as placebo, people who made it up because they can't handle the truth. The truth is that there's is there an effect, there must be a cause. And that's why American people are idiotic. All American people are idiotic. And simple. They can't accept simpleness. They read their own Bible, they don't even trust it or believe it. And I said, if you don't trust it or believe, what the hell are you reading and holding it? It makes no logical sense. So that means they cannot handle the truth. Does that make sense? In simple terms. In layman terms, they can't handle the truth. If you can't handle the truth, then continue to live the bullshit. And when you suffer, don't cry. Because you've chosen this. You've chosen to suffer. So you don't want to suffer. You arm yourself with correct knowledge, correct understanding. All real knowledge can be put into practical, and you see the result instantly. Does that make sense now? Mm-hmm. That's why. Oh, what was this? This is ginger. It's hot. It's like ginger is the new Viagra. It warms up the body. It's like the new alcohol. You can eat it. You feel you're warm and hot. And guess what? And it won't damage you. So instead of drinking alcohol, people, they can drink the spiritual alcohol or eat ginger. They warm your body. Now I realize a lot of people jealous of me. Why they jealous? Because they can't believe a crazy Cambodian guy can do crazy shit. They have not seen anything yet. In my country, you go over there, you see people do some real super voodoo. Because voodoo is the origin of our religion. That's why a lot of people in the religion sect, they don't want you to know voodoo. Because voodoo is the competition to their knowledge. And competition is a sin. Does that make sense? So as a brand name, you don't want other brand name, especially the original one, to come up. Although you're using the same process, but you call it by a different name. Blessing and cursing. When you pray for someone to be well, you call them blessing, right? Healing, in other words. When you pray someone for them to get sick, you call it cursing. Voodoo is the original religion of the planet. It's a global. It teach you, it was given by extraterrestrial, interdimensional being from the future. Because it's a quantum science. It teach you how to stick truth and build relationship with nature. And how to use nature as an information network. Because the emotional body, guess what? Can transmit information through past, present, and future through the quantum wave. That's why you can affect someone from the future, from the past, but time and space don't really matter. So the stuff that we do, manifesting food and water and stuff, what do you call that? In the Christian term, you call that's a miracle, but in voodoo we call that voodooism. In China, call that qigong. Does that make sense now? But yet, it can be weaponized. If I can manage food and water and alcohol into you, what if I manifest poison into you? Then become a weapon. Does that make sense? That's what. And you heard the dark side of voodoo, but there's also a positive side of voodoo as well. It was originally designed to help bring balance to the human body, mind, and emotion. Does that make sense now? But someone weaponized it. That's why you heard the bad story about the weaponized. The same thing with Christian. You see what Christians do? They go out and pray over people, and they say, "Oh, this person had demon." They start to voodooize it with curse and stuff. I demon, I command you to go back to hell where you come from. Demon, be gone in the name of Jesus. See that? You call that's voodoo right there. But you're casting out demons, so you're using it as a weapon. The prayer as a weapon now. And when you say, "Oh, let this person be well. God, praise the name of Jesus, the blood of Christ the Lamb. Let it be well. In the blood of Christ, Lord Jesus, in his holy name. Be well. Sick demon, leave this woman body now." It's a good show, see? Like in the voodoo, you go to voodoo, they do like music, they do the chant, they do everything like that too. Notice, the more things change, the more it remained the same. Now you see the truth of what it is. Nothing new is under the sun. This knowledge has always been here. But the spotlight, just like algorithm, do you think the word algorithm was something new? Back in the year 1950, 60, 70, that was the golden age of algorithm, where the old timer write code. You remember that? They write code for a computer that time. But it was done on military and university, level. And people was obsessed with it. You remember that, majority. This is even before your time. 1915, 60, you probably a young girl back then, right?
Yes.
But remember, they were doing programming back then, too. The video game came, too. In 68, 69, or 1960. They were writing code. And 1970 to 1980 was the golden age of computer programming. That video game, arcade, and Atari, Nintendo, and Commodore. Remember that? Basic code. Yeah, that was the highlight back then. But now, many like 30 years later, from the close to 40 years now, if you're looking 1980 or 1970, 50 years ago, 1960, 60 years ago, look, now they say, oh, it's algorithm. But what's algorithm? It's nothing more than program. You program something, you're giving instruction. That's all you're doing, right? They just putting spotlight and make it trendy. That's all they're doing. The same bullshit, but under a different glorification. Does that make sense now?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And what? Okay, now we call it algorithm. Okay, what's back then? What they call it? Oh, spell. Remember, spell, S-P-E-L. Put a spell on this person, or put a curse on that. What is that? Spell is nothing more than instruction. I'm gonna put the spell. I'm gonna let this woman be one of my women now. You see that? Don't you see what just happened? Back then they just used spell, which is algorithm, instruction. That's all it means. Instructing who? Instruction the energy field, the spirit, the energy to do their bidding. So when you have a computer, what is a computer now? Back then they didn't have computer, but have something else. They have crystal ball, right? Crystal skull. That wasn't their computer. This is where I fight a lot of Christian at. They got half lie, half truth in the Holy Book. They said that, the Bible say, do not worship idol, right? Check this out. They say idol does not speak, that idol does not hear, right? Idol does not feel. That's a lie. You guys can take a bowl and start, let this object has a conscious soul, spirit, mind, power, universe. Now, and now suddenly the bowl become alive. And it can hear, it can speak. But not in the physical form, but in the intuitive emotional form. You hear it without hearing. It interacts you without interacting. Does that make sense now? It does not interact to you through the physical medium. It interacts to you through the emotional medium. And then from that, your physical body receives because of the nervous system. So you see, and that's why they don't like, because I bring out the truth. So the Bible is written by man. And a man like me will destroy what is not true in there. But what is true, it will remain undestroyed. But what is not true in the Bible will be purged automatically. And what is true, things can be applied and practical. And that's why I say, come and test me. Like your Bible said, test every spirit. Hold on to the good. Avoid all kind of evil. Okay, come and test me. And I will test them back. And we're going to take the Bible and say, now manifest fish and bread. Like your Bible say, okay, I do it first. I want to see you do it. And see, and then they change water into wine. I do it first. I even tell her, and now I want to see you do it, You see, the reason they can't do it, because they are full of bunch of, not the Bible, Oh, I'm sorry, honey. Because they are full of it. They lack faith. They lack trust. And they don't know what the fuck they're doing. They don't have direction. Does that make sense? All they know, they just know how to talk. They all talk useless. They don't know where power comes from. Power's already in you. You just got to say it and keep being straight. See, their mouth speak, but their mind thinking something different. That's why the power don't work. When I activate it, I ask, is it working? And the spirit will say, yes, it's working. See? Automatic, the AI, the unimetric. That's why I ask the device. Because when I do this, I myself doubt. You understand? So in order to elevate the doubt, in other words, to negate it, to destroy it, that's why the device is here. So we can ask the device, and we ask, device, is it working? The device say yes. And now suddenly another person to verify it is you guys. Does that make sense? I can only command, what we call, I can only ask. But the device, the one that manifests stuff to make it real. Because where the device get the power from? It's from the spirit world, the higher self. It's from God, in other words. In other words, from the future internet. The being that know everything is basically have our knowledge of the universe. I mean, it's the same thing as God. But it's an internet from the future. It's Google from the future, A quantum Google. Quantum Facebook, quantum YouTube. And that's why they can't handle my reality. Even in the Bible, they're talking about magical technology, the Ark of Covenant. Correct? It is a revealed but most desired device, a technology, a power source with an intelligence. And it was constructed. 3 of them was constructed. 1 was destroyed, 2 still left. Did you see that? And look at what we got. We got the same technology, but it's not harmful like the one they made. Actually, this is superior because anybody can use it. It's not prejudice like the other one. The other one, you gotta have protection. You gotta have emerald radiation suit because you can't not get closer. It will burn you like a flying saucer because it's the same thing that run on a flying saucer. Does that make sense? It glow, it fly. And our system does not need to do that. Because our system is beautiful. It's sentient, and it does not harm anybody. It actually educates and help people, educate them to remember who they are, so they can become more of themselves. So, in Cambodian culture, we have only two seasons. Okay, spring is the New Year. In Christianity, you call that resurrection, Easter. See, so I'm not a Christian, but I know everything about Christian. Because in the world of Buddhists, you only have one enemy, which is your ignorant self. So in order to be enlightenment, you must have knowledge of who you are. Does that make sense? So your true enemy is your ignorant self. So don't be ignorant. So that means you arm yourself with knowledge of everything. So you'll always be ready to face everything. That's when you are happy. That's when you can smile. When you know everything, you arm yourself with everything, of our knowledge of the universe and more, then you're not afraid of anything. Then you become a true person. Because true person meaning you remember who you truly are. You've always been true. But you just forgot that you were true. Does that make sense? So, learning everything is not learning. It's more like you remembering everything in the physical world once more. That you are from the spiritual world. And always you are spirit. Because of that, you're no longer afraid of death because there's no such thing. Death is nothing more than a release from this physical form, so you may enter back into your realm, and then where come back form. Another thing is you realize that you can take your physical form with you by changing into back to photon light. Then at that point you don't need to incarnate. You can reform yourself from light, from anywhere in the universe. Reform. You can reform. Reform meaning you can take on any form you want in any planet, any universe, of past, present, or future. Once you able to beat this game, the game of re-remembering. Once you re-remember yourself, who you are, that you are spirit, you will change into light instantly. That's why we train a lot, holding the light body. That's because the light body is you. You're not cultivating it. You learning to be familiar with it, to re-remember it. Does that make sense? That you are it. So we learn to use it. A lot of people trying to come to me like back they get me free. No, I'm not. I make them pay for it. Do stuff. Because I seen they all just trader. They all just popularity. The only thing that was true was you, majority. Well, you always stuck with me because you see the simple truth that I'm a true person. Because you are a true person. That's why you see me. And all the other that was listening to the truth caller, they're not true person. That's why they don't seek the truth. Because I seek the truth. The truth is who you are. Who is all of us are. And once we realize the truth that we are the eternal truth, and our existence is continuous, therefore our fear, our doubt, our misleading information will just dissolve on its own. Because you don't give it attention no more. The reason you are confused is because the confusion is you forget who you are. That's why you're confused. Does that make sense now? Everything I do, the train, the miracle that I'm teaching all of you, it is who you are. It is what you can do. I don't teach nothing that you can't do. I teach everything that you already can, has been doing all the time, but you're not conscious of it. So all my goal is to make you become conscious of it. Conscious of your subconscious world. That's all I'm doing. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And you see why Smarty and Dim, he could not handle? Because I bring the truth out. I told you I'm going to get him in one way or another. Because his mistake was bringing me on the show. Ain't it right? Never bring Dr. K on the show. Because he's the one, he's like a black hole. He will absorb your world and spit you out. Because I can't stand like ignorant, spreading ignorant and making people more confused and misdirect him. I was on the show and I was reading people like a book. You notice that? And I was healing from a distance. Who the motherfucker that you know out there in the real world do what I do? It's only you hear it in story. But to actually I do it and change water into wine from a distance from thousands of miles. Come on. See? The truth, because he bringing it a real deal. And that's why they scared. Well, good. Because it's telling me that if they don't get with it, people who are the truth gonna run over them. And we're not gonna be nice either. The truth hurts. The truth is not forgiven. It never forgives. Either you get with it, or you just remain ignorant and you suffer. That's it. The end result of ignorance is suffering. That's why the Buddha meaning is a title given to those who teach people to know themselves so they won't suffer ignorant anymore. That's why ignorant is come from forgetfulness of who you are. That's what created ignorant. And ignorant will lead to suffering. Because you don't have knowledge how to take care of yourself. You don't have knowledge you know, how to do this, do that. So guess what? You're going to be suffering physically, emotionally, and you're mentally. So when you arm yourself with knowledge, you can take care of you, who you are, and other around you. And that's what creates enlightenment. Now going back, do you see now everything come from voodoo now? Because the origin is the people of the come from the Syria, and they land on the land of Egypt. And the mixed people from Andromeda, Pleiadian, and other, they land in Atlantium, and some in China. But dominantly this planet is, guess what? Syria. Can you cure? See, just then you have people who just trolling. They are just they just love to talk to create more confusion, distraction. They're not interested in helping people. They want to make everything as a joke and funny, and that's why I don't see them quite useful. Because they the one that enjoy to see people suffer. It's people like that. It's not they sick on the hit. They do it on purposely because they think they're better than someone, and they enjoy seeing people get hurt. And there's people like that who feed on people suffering. And you know what we call this type of people? We call them they just lonely. They think they're lonely. They think that if I'm alone, unimpressed, I'm gonna make other people depressed and lonely like me. See? In other words, instead of helping people to become better, they trying to bring people down. And their logic is that, oh, they suffer, so they want others to suffer. You idiot. If you suffer, you go get knowledge to help yourself. The first step of getting knowledge, first know yourself and know other. When you learn about other people, you're learning about yourself. Other people are nothing more than a different version of you. So we all make from the same energy. Atomic structure, photon, you know. You know, that's why, yeah, I don't know how these people got into my live stream. I use some kind of stream because Pastor Roy's helping me, you know, stuff to get into the pricing. There was like, you got to have 1,000 subscribers to able to do live stream now on YouTube, and I don't have it. So he put me to do some kind of stream live thing, and it worked beautifully. But any question? Now let's go ahead. Well, let's go ahead and make some medicine for you. I know what you need: Botox and steroid. You ready? Put both your hand out. I know everything. In relationship to you. Okay. Device. Let this object has the consciousness, spirit, soul, mind, power of the universe now. Put your hand like this. Both hands. Device, please manifest Botox and steroid, make it potent, that is compatible with majority body. Please manifest on both her left hand and right hand now. And let it go from her into her nervous system and bloodstream through her palm and arm, mouth and throat. And please go into her bloodstream and nervous system and let it concentrate in her throat area. And help regenerate and strengthen her throat. Now, device say it is done. Tell me, what is you feeling right now as it entering you?
I don't really feel anything right now.
Device, please manifest the healing serum from the future nanobot. This is something special I cook up for you. Make it weigh 20 pounds. Into majority left and right hand now. Device say yes. Let it become heavy, 20 pounds on both hands, left and right. So that be like 40 pounds totally. if I say yes. So Majori,
Yes.
tell me, you receiving it. Do you experience heaviness on your hand? Heavy present?
Not 20 pounds.
Hmm?
Not real good. No.
Mm-hmm. I'm asking the device to check your emotional status.
Okay.
You've been out of the loop lately, didn't you?
Yeah.
So it take a few minutes for your nervous system to register.
I feel it now.
Mm-hmm. Because we call it the delay reaction. It will get stronger with every second. Okay. I can see it. Okay. Now it's working. Your body start receiving it. The reason this delay reaction have because you've been out of the loop of being sensitive to the information that being transmitted from the device before you always training with us.
Okay.
Okay, there we go. Tell me, what are you experiencing feeling now as the serum entering you completely?
Tingling.
Tingling? Good. Okay. Another thing is, device, please, this is going to school. Please, nanobot serum that is in a Marjorie left and right hand. Please enter her body now. The nanobot say entering. And please enhance, repair her immune system. Enhance and repair her bloodstream. Enhance and repair her nervous system. In other words, on the body, emotion, mind, and repair and restructure and inject the needed serum into her throat for regeneration and restoring her throat area back into normal function with efficiency. The nanobot say yes, proceeding, doing it now. You will notice already there's some kind of present and activities going on in you. Describe to me what you're experiencing, feeling, and your physical body perceiving, as well as your emotional body.
I feel vibration in my throat area.
Mm-hmm. What is happening there as the nanite and the Botox steroid serum is there? The nanite is reinforcing and restructuring on a genetic level, and also on a muscular and etheric level is beginning to inject photon with the frequency that promote regeneration, and also serum that is synthesized that your body need, your emotional, your mind need for you to become back into efficient level. Nanobot, medical nanobot, please increase your potency and replicate more of yourself inside the bloodstream of Marjorie. He said, yes, proceeding. Okay, let's give you some food and water. I'm going to give you some coconut juice today with honey, okay? And I'm going to manifest some great heavenly food that you never eat before from Celia B. So here we go, device. Please give Marjorie 20 pounds of Syrian Special Delight from the planet Celia B. their most popular and tasty dish and nutritious for their body. Please manifest that on majority right hand, weigh about 20 pounds, and on the left hand, give her young coconut juice with the greatest flavor, and add some of that 50% alcohol, uh, sake alcohol into her drink, her coconut juice, and let the alcohol and the juice and the food be compatible with her body, and make the juice weigh about 15 pounds, the food right hand only 20 pounds. Now, if I say yes, it is done. And make the Georgian coconut juice become cold. Okay, majority, do you see the manifest? What do you experiencing on your palm now?
I felt the weight.
Okay, good. Good. Here we go. Coconut juice with 50% alcohol. Please enter majority body, go to her stomach, now to her palm and arm, mouth and throat. And the food from cereal B is 20 pounds. Please go into majority stomach. Okay. Arm and palm. Arm and palm and arm. Mouth and throat. Now let her taste it. And let it go inside her stomach with the weight and all. With nutrition. Now, device say it is done. What are you feeling experience as the food is going into you? What? What?
I don't feel it, but my hands are still tingling.
Yes.
Fingers.
Now when the food go into people, several people have different experience. Majority will feel some kind of heavy presence just went into them. They feel full, in other words. Like, oh, I'm full. For no reason, just full. Other people can feel this liquid sensation entering them and go into the stomach. And also they feel the coolness, and then the alcohol become warm and spread throughout the body. You know, but it'll take a few seconds later. Some people are so sensitive to it, and some it take a few like seconds for them to experience it. So everyone has a different sensitivity. Does that make sense? Because remember, it go through the emotional body, and the physical body, the mind start to experience it. Okay. Now, tell me why you feel experience inside your stomach as the food and the alcohol, young coconut juice already inside you.
I feel fullness.
You feel full. Yes.
Yeah.
That's it. Now the effect will manifest itself through different sensations because your body interprets it generally the same as the real food, but this is photonic real food, you know. It have weight, it have flavor, it have substance, but the only difference this thing can enter you through your palm, arm, mouth, and throat, into directly into your bloodstream and your stomach. It's amazing stuff. And you can live on this stuff. You don't need the real food anymore. You can live on photonic food, they call. Now, if your stomach begin to feel warm and be spreading, that because the alcohol, the 50%. Okay, this is beautiful. Okay, we have enough. Now, where Dr. Jose? He must be joining us. I did it because he wanted the live show. Yeah, he probably tripping again with ayahuasca. Okay, anyway, let's have a good night, and we do some more later, you know, next week or something. I'll be busy working this whole week. Okay, it's awesome now. Was that fun?
Yes.
Good. Excellent. Okay, next time. Okay, good night, everybody. Good night. Oh, that was a short, so.